Hey! Hope that's not too loud. Hi guys! So, if you are coming over from Patreon, you already know the character we're going for because, well, of course, Patreon gets to know all that stuff first. And we are actually going to be working on a little sketch idea of Snow White. I've been running through my brain for about maybe a month. Yeah, I think it's about a month now, and I finally have the time. I've got these old materials lying around that it's like, let's do it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It is actually an apron style for more of a casual cosplay style. It could also be used in the kitchen if you felt like it. Personally, I don't really do a lot of cooking. I bake a little bit, so this is probably just going to be like one of those convention things of I want to have a casual day because I'm not feeling like much. So that's why I've been working on this. The pattern is actually something that I drafted looking at some old apron styles. I think it was from 1950s or so. And they're almost completely done. The only part that I don't have all the way cut out is the little scalloping going along the edge, because that's featured in hundreds of apron styles throughout the 1950s that I want to keep that. It's a very cute little design feature and element, at least in my eyes. Come on, you can focus. There we go, camera. Eventually we'll figure out a better way to shoot all this stuff, but today is not that day. Maybe it'll be later when we actually put some more money into a camera. But that'll be down the road. Ugh. That smells. I did recently do a little bit of armor making, so my room still smells quite heavily of glue and adhesive, and the smell is just not dissipating. I have no clue why. But I'm going to get started. I just need to finish cutting out the scallop for my pattern that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to be writing down all of my markings on here. After that, I'm going to grab my tailor's chalk, some of my pins from here, and we're actually going to start cutting out things of our fabric. So let's scoot our machine over just so we can have a little bit more work room. And now that my brain is actually functioning, we're going to turn on our light and hope that helps us out a little bit. There we go. One thing I am enjoying about this broken tripod set is that it comes with its own personal light, because that is just really freaking useful. And I can even change the color. Even better. Let's see, we're gonna go down here. Now, most of this pattern has been completely eyeballed, so I'm not 100% sure how all of it's going to work out. We're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best. But so far, the basic idea is to keep a lot of her dress elements, since this isn't going to have sleeves, but it will have a neckband. I'm going to be using the red ribbon to go around the waist, along the neckband, and in most of the photos, at least the ones that I enjoy from Disney that feature Snow White, she has what looks like a little white ruffle underneath her yellow skirt. So for that part, I'm heavily leaning towards using some tulle underneath there, kind of frill it up and make it all nice and scalloped along the edge. Mainly just because I think that'd be a nice, cute, feminine touch. Snow White is very simple, so another idea that's popped in my head is I've got actually enough fabric here to make maybe 3 of these aprons. Is that I could make one of them that's, you know, very simple, very normal and plain, kind of like she is, and then use the rest of the fabric to make another one and actually put some of my beading skills to use, because I still have a giant thing of beads, specifically the seed beads from when I did my wedding dress last year, that could really be given some extra use. And it would be kind of nice to not have those sitting around getting spilled every couple of days, because for some reason I always forget that they're sitting there, and I have yet to move them into a jar, which would be a very smart decision, but you know, sometimes we just don't think of it. Now let's see. So, we've got the scallop done. Where is my box? I'm just going to take these off because that gets annoying after a while. There we are. Alright. So, got our nice little cute scallops. And then this is the top. I'm thinking I might make it slightly wider than what I've cut out here. But first we are going to go through our marking procedure because we need registration marks. So far I've only got 2, which is very front of here to help line these up once I start my stitching process and putting them together. But we're going to need more. Alright, and this is the front side, and I've made this so that way I can make it more of a seamless look. So this end is actually going to be going on the fold of my fabric. Hello there, jar of pens. Whoop. And since I don't really care about this fabric, this is just my patterning fabric, so this stuff can get dirty and grimy as much as it wants. I'm going to outline that quick, and I'm just gonna make my little line so I know what I'm doing. Generally, I just kind of mimic the stuff from all of my store-bought patterns because that makes it really freaking easy so I know what I'm doing. Labeling that for the fold. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to double layer everything, so I am going to need to cut out 1 layer of my colored fabric, then a layer of, I'm thinking a linen might be best because a regular liner is going to be way too thin, but we'll see. I have a black liner sitting around somewhere, but I'm leaning more towards using another white liner just because I think that'll look much nicer. This I've also got ready so that I could do it on a fold as well. Mainly because putting everything on your fold does help out a lot. I mean, yeah, there's technically going to be that extra that's not on a fold, but we'll make it work. Might turn that into some cute little ruffles or something. Oh, almost forgot that part. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably label these. So this will be apron, top, then I'll just write snow. I am wanting to make one of these for all of the Disney princesses and those who are not considered princesses because, I mean, come on. We've got so many beautiful ladies and I hate it how they're so picky on which ones have to be, which ones are classified as princesses and which ones are not. Just because, like, I love Jane from Tarzan. I think she was amazing. Totally deserves princess status in my eyes, but they won't give it to her. Which sucks. Apron. Skirt. Snow. Like, I know right now an idea I've got for Belle in particular is to kind of use the same skirt piece, but do a bunch of cascading layers, getting shorter and shorter in a gold fabric. Personally, I'm loving the idea of that. We'll have to wait and see though, because I'm just going to start out with snow, and maybe in 3 or 4 months I'll come back and I'll do another princess later. For now, this is good. So, labels have been made. Keep your things labeled, children. it helps a ton when you're sewing. That way you're not walking around picking up random pieces going, what the heck is this? I admit I am guilty of that. I've done it in the past. Let's see. Oh, now I need a lining fabric. I am leaning heavily towards the white, but part of me is thinking black might give it a nice crisper look. Especially since I do rather want this to look kind of professional and neat when we're finished. I mean, yeah, we're going to be pressing everything. So where did I put that lining fabric? Maybe I put it in the drawers. This is a problem, having boxes of fabric lying all over your sewing room. Organize your rooms, kiddies. It helps. Especially if you're like me and you generally forget. Hello there, black fabric. We found you. I don't think this is the right one. It feels a little bit thicker. But, I mean, that should work. We don't need something that's too heavily thick or too thin. This is slightly see-through, but it's also going to be our technical lining, so that is something we can completely deal with. Now, let's move this out of the way. Try and get ourselves to focus again, because cameras hate us. Now, personally, I like being able to use my desk. I can just drape things right off the side. And it's generally the perfect height for most of it. I am slightly tall for this desk. In order to do full hands, I have to bend a little. Oh, wow, this is big. This must be some of the double wide fabric I've been hiding away for projects. Should we use it? I'm leaning towards a no. Let's check for the other black fabric just in case, because I have a feeling there's a project sitting somewhere that this stuff is dedicated to, but it doesn't have a tag. Personally, I try to tag my fabric when I finally decide what it's going to be used with. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes I forget. So let's hope we've got something somewhere. Otherwise, I'm not sure what to do. Nah, that's too shiny. Maybe it was this one. This one looks like it. The old dirty bundle. That's definitely going to need to be cleaned, and I have duct tape somewhere, mainly because my lint roller ran out a while back, and I've been a bit lazy to getting a new one. Yeah, you can tell this fabric is old. Now, personally, well, I do enjoy Snow White. She is by far and away actually not my favorite Disney princess. One of the reasons why I started with her is just because I like how her outfit looks. And I know that the simple design would be great for me to practice how this entire series of projects is going to go. Plus, I've got a girlfriend who's got some really cute short black hair, and I think she'd make like the perfect 1950s Snow White. So when this is all finished, I am throwing her in it and taking 1,000 photos. So if you guys are on my Patreon, you're going to be able to see those first. Otherwise, if it's like ages after this has been posted, they should probably be on Facebook or Instagram somewhere. Speaking of which, for those of you sitting with us right now, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button, and if you want notifications whenever I start a live stream, which is generally Friday at either 7 or 7:30, lately 7:30 because I'm always running behind, then hit the bell icon and it will give you daily, not daily, I don't post daily, I can't do that. It'll give you notifications whenever I'm about to do something. Hello there, you are also extra thick. You must be from an old project. Well, you're old. You get to be used up first. The new crisp stuff can have its day later. Come on, camera. You can do it. We're actually going to use our tape as a fabric holder so it doesn't start slipping. I feel like I should iron this, but I don't have the time right now to go through and iron all of this. We will have to later on, though, when we start doing our seams and pressing everything. But with the simplicity of these, I'm pretty sure I can knock out an apron in maybe 4 hours tops. Sadly, today is one of the days where I have a hard cutoff line. I have to get off and go to bed roughly around 9. Mainly because, as we know, all of us have to work. It'd be awesome if cosplay could pay most of my bills, but we'll get there eventually. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. For now, let's just have fun with what we get to do. We get to craft and do awesome things at conventions. Speaking of conventions, No Brand is coming up and I'm so excited. I will actually be running 3 panels for No Brand this year. They are, I can't even word today. Stories of the Sword, which is kind of the post panel for LARP 101. And LARP 101 is, of course, when I talk all about LARPing and get you guys into the hobby, hopefully, because we could always use more LARPers in the world. We love having LARP friends. Alright, we're gonna do this. Let's do the bodice first. But I'll be doing that one first. I should have written these down so I could remember exactly when they are for you guys. Because there is a lot of stuff I'll be doing. Let's see. Gmail, come to me. You know everything that I'm doing. Woof. I'm pretty sure the first one is going to be Saturday, which, if I'm remembering correctly, it's going to be LARP 101. I want to say that one's at noon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's at noon. Let's see. Okay, so yep. LARP 101 is going to be at noon on Saturday. Then after that, is going to be then the post cursor, I don't know the word. It's going to be Stories of the Sword at 1 o'clock on Sunday in panel room 2. And then as the piece de resistance, because let's have fun, on, that was Saturday, panel room 2, I'll be having the No Slumber Party, which starts at what's 200 hours? I don't know. I want to say that's 8. Yeah, that's 8 o'clock. So that one's going to be going on at 8 on Saturday night, which is going to be great. And for those of you who also enjoy Naruto, that is going to be the same room where I will be helping out my friend Cosplay Raptor / Raptor Cosplay with her Whose Line Is It Naruto panel, which is one I am extremely excited for. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are keeping it PG-13. Don't put the pins in your mouth, girl. You're trying to talk. That's the best way to get stabbed in the tongue. I've done it before. But she's running that, and no, it is not going to be 18 up. We're keeping it for all ages right now because we love all people and we feel like everybody should be able to have fun and do this. Ooh. And if I could actually type out something right, that would be wonderful for a day. There we go. Alrighty. Now, I do think I'm going to widen this. So before I pin anything down, we're going to scoot this out just a little bit. Move it to where you guys can see what I'm doing. Because sometimes I forget about that. Let's see. Right about here I think looks good. It's mainly the bottom area I definitely want a little bit wider, so I'm angling it downwards a bit. Can't forget to cut out my notches either, because those are very, very important for lining everything up later on. Since they will technically have a center crease, but I don't like using that to keep everything lined up. Sometimes your creases get moved when you're fiddling with your fabric all day, and that is a natural disaster waiting to happen. Or should I say, a disaster of the sewing kind. Oof, there we go. Alright, this one is ready. Let's grab our rotary wheel. Of course, I'm using my ginger one. Ginger. I've always called it ginger. Mainly because I am a ginger and it makes me feel proud. Because really, you don't see blondes with a product named after them. Yuck, 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 yuck. Bad jokes galore. I am still trying to debate what my lineup is going to be for no brand. That is still heavy on my mind because decisions are not my forte. It's one reason why I have such a hard time planning out these live streams in advance. Like, I only finally decided what we were doing tonight maybe 2-3 hours ago. Which is bad. But you know, it happens. Alright, now I do have to double measure now. Mainly because of adding the extra width here. I've got to make sure that extra width is going to match up for the skirt panel. So I'm just going to lay this down. And I'm going to measure here. And that actually doesn't make much of a move. So I think I did perfect right here. There's that one. Now skirt piece is next, so I've got to move a couple stuff. And then we can keep going. Oop. Be careful of knocking things off of your desk. Try not to knock your scissors onto your foot. I've done it. It hurts. I've done a lot of things that hurt. Please be careful with your sewing. I don't want to hear of anybody getting hurt. I like it when you guys are safe. Do. There we are. Moment to plug in my iron. Just because I know I'm gonna need it. I didn't want to, but we're gonna have to. Got it. Oh, I bought a bow for this one. Mainly because she does have the cute little hair bow, and I thought this would be a very nice touch. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping it turns out nice. Let's see, we're going to put that at a 3. Now while that heats up, we're going to get the skirt cut out. We're going to press everything. Then we'll move on to getting our actual fashion fabric cut out. Because that's important. That was very important. Now this piece is a little bit big, so I can't center it all for you guys. So you'll have to bear with me and the constant refocusing of the camera, because I'm going to be moving as quick as I can so I can at least get the base of this done for you guys. And I'm hoping we can get the base knocked out. Ooh, where's that? Okay, that's good. Nope, that's not good. We gotta lower this down on my fabric a little bit. Because with this being an old fabric, it does have some pre-cuts in it from old things I made long ago. There we are. That's perfect. Moving fast again. Oh, music stopped. Okay, I forgot to hit the button. Then we're going to go down to the edge. Oof, I can already smell it heating up. Sadly, I have had a couple instances where I've set down my iron in a wrong place and it has burned up a few things. I'm getting better at not doing that ever since I made that area a no extra zone. Still happens on occasion. Hopefully I can fix that. There we go. Personally, I think these scallops look really cute. If I'm able to find the old 1950s apron set that I got the ideas from, I will definitely link it to you guys down in the comment section. Because they are, I think they're adorable. I think they're really cute and sweet. There's one version that has like a full bodice on top and then it goes into a flared skirt all around. That one in my head is going to be perfect for Cinderella. I'm just trying to figure out what to do for the skirting area. Because I know the top is going to be getting some major embroidery, even for the simple version. The fancy version might get some beading on top of the embroidery, but I'll see where this goes. Because another idea for this is, I don't know, I was thinking pockets, because we all know pockets are a girl's best friend. That having some pockets sewn in here might be nice. So a cute idea that popped for me was, what if I make a pocket in the shape of an apple and have it have like the slime and the eyes from when the evil queen poisoned the apple and gave it to her. Oops, we just tossed a pin out onto the floor. Let's hope we don't get stabbed. Honestly, I think almost every live stream I do, I get stabbed by something. I know last week I was sitting on my scissors. I can't remember the week before that. I think the week before that might have been... Oh, what was the week before that? Has it been 2 weeks since Anime Milwaukee? Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check. As if it has been 2 weeks, then the last technical live stream you guys have seen from me would have been over on Instagram. Oh, I miss Anime Milwaukee already. I can't wait for next year. I have some ideas on what I want to do, but so far the biggest idea is I'm just going to focus on getting all the panels ready. There we go. Alrighty, this one's all pinned down. Now I've got to just start cutting. It does feel a little wrinkled. Okay, that's mostly just because of pre-existing wrinkles. Everything's gonna get flattened out. Everything's getting pressed. We'll just have to get there first. Eventually, when I'm able to invest more, we're totally getting a aerial camera. I think that might make it a little bit easier to do these projects. Snippity snip snip snip. Such excitement, much wow. Cute apron too. Like, depending on how these turn out, I might also make a couple of medieval versions just for LARP, because why not? Cute little aprons are always useful, especially since in our LARP group we actually run a little inn/tavern. So if we ever have like extra NPCs, I can just throw them into an apron and just be like, go, do your thing. Look cute while you do it. I know another idea that crossed into my head, mainly because for some reason aprons are just on my mind. Ugh. Because I'm tight. Was Tokyo Mew Mews, because I will admit it, I love the Tokyo Mew Mews. They were adorable, and I thought Ichigo was amazing. If you watch Tokyo Mew Mews, watch the sub over the dub. I normally enjoy the dub versions, but they actually started Tokyo Mew Mew, I think it was episode 6 or 8, but they started it way late in the actual series. They took Ichigo from being a serious, mature, well, relatively serious, mature girl who was in it to save the world to a boy crazy, awful person in my eyes. Like, seriously, Funimation, she was perfect how she was, and you guys kind of ruined her. Which made me extremely sad when I went back to watch it because I saw that they dubbed it. She was great how she was. There was no need for that change. But no, they went and did that. There we go. And our registration marks are snipped. Ha ha ha. Cutting is complete for the first layer. So we're going to move on to layer number 2. Well, yeah, let's press it first. So I need to set this aside, grab my thick whoopsie. Just knocked a couple of tails over my dress form. Mainly because I've been slowly chipping away at my Vulpix costume. With her 6 adorable tails. And I'm getting there. She's almost finished. I just have like little minor details to do, and I'm hoping I can finish her in the next couple days because I saw that Arda is actually doing their banner contest, and I'd love to enter it wearing my white Arda wig and my Vulpix costume. Just because, to me, that would be adorable. I think it would look great. And it gives me a chance to talk with a couple of my photographer's friends and be like, hey, I need some help. Because honestly, I don't think we give photographers enough love for everything they do from us. Like, really, those guys are the MVPs. Yeah, we make the costumes, but they put up with all of our whining of wanting the perfect shot. And while we are slowly pressing away here, a quick shout out to my amazing patrons. We got a new one, and I can't remember her name. I'm gonna look you up quickly, honey, because I want to get your name correct. because I love you guys. Ha 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 ha. We got this. We totally got this. We have, of course, okay, Christina is our newest amazing patron. And then we have our two goodies who have been with me since the beginning of J-Pow and Jake Nitzel. You guys are the best. I would not be able to do as much as I do without you. And I can't wait to keep doing more. Alright, we are done with the skirt. Whoop. Almost. We're going to repress some of these from this side quick. Hello there. Got it. There we are. We're just going to set that back there. Gonna iron this one. Oh, there we go. Alright, now we're going to move our ironing blanket out of the way. And we're going to get back to the fashion fabric. So I think I'm going to do the skirt first. Then we'll go back and do the bodice. I know, why are you doing the big one first? Because I feel like it. Oof. Suddenly a little bit nervous. I don't know if this one's wide enough, so I might have to refold the fabric. We'll see quick. There's the fold on this side. Yep, just barely. We are so close to the edge. So I think I am going to refold this just to make this a little bit easier on us. Maybe right about here should do it. I don't want to have it to be too far folded just because I do have enough to make a few and I don't want to waste any fabric. I hate it when I make something and fabric goes to waste. I I mentally destroy myself for that, because like that's money we could have either saved or fabric that could have gone to a new project down the line, and we just ruined it. But I mean, who doesn't self-sabotage every now and then? Or is self-sabotage the right word? I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually. When I'm reading, I know the words, but when I'm speaking, I sometimes don't. Come on, here we go. Smooth everything out. And I think this is perfect. Oh, it's looking like it. Yep, we got it. I am quite happy with how these are looking. Oof. Let's see. Ow. Stab. Fingers. Oof, that hurts. Hi, Crystal. How are you today? How's work going? Ugh. Not too bad. Glad to hear it. I'm guessing that means the night is slow since you were able to pop on. For those of you who don't know her, Crystal is another of my amazing cosplay buddies. My personal favorite cosplay of hers is her Ursula. That's okay, I've done silly stuff like that too in the past. Sometimes I try to unfold already unfolded fabric, and that doesn't work. There we go, almost there. You know, with how much of this fabric is still left, I might be able to make more than 3. We'll have to wait and see. I know I definitely have a lot for the bodices, so the bodice I might be able to do some extra stuff with. Unless I find another cosplay that requires this kind of blue fabric. We'll see though. I've got ideas. Alrighty. And snip, snip, snip. Actually, I'm gonna break out our bigger scissors right now. Says I just looked at the time. we go. Throw that off the desk. We'll fold it back up later. And now I'm going to go in and fine cut the scallops. And the last scallop cut. Okay, it is the bodice's turn. This one we thankfully don't really have to worry because of how thin it is. This way. Yep, here is our edge. And this actually has a little crease in it, so I'm going to need to iron this down before I could actually use it. So we're going to quickly lay down the blanket again. Speaking of which, if you guys are like me and you have a limited space or your ironing board is not set up to be filmed, a blanket is an amazing alternative to your real ironing board. Plus, they are honestly cheaper. There we go. That's looking a lot nicer. Alrighty, now I'm gonna roll quick just to make it easier to pick up. And then back down. There we go. Start on this end. So, what is your guys' favorite Disney princess? Personally, I am at a tie between Ariel and Merida, my two red-headed beauties. Eventually, I plan to cosplay as Merida, but she's going to be a bit more down the road. Mainly because I have other characters who are up front and center for my lineups. Like, I really want to do Ishtar, and she's going to be a very, very big one to work on for me. And then, of course, everything else I feel like doing, so we'll get to her eventually. Honestly, that seems to be the curse of cosplay. The list of characters you want to do will forever outweigh the list of characters you've already done. Like, who is on your list of characters you want to cosplay, but you don't think you'll ever get the chance to? I would love to hear about them. And I'd also like to know why you don't think you'll ever cosplay that as them. Whether it's something like prop or attire, I want to hear from you. I want to know what it is that's going on in your head. There we are. Roll this up quick. And then off the desk we go. Sweet! So we have everything cut out. We're going to unplug the iron quick because, whoopsie, I won't be needing it for a little while. So we're moving you here. Alrighty. And for the first time in this stream, we get to sit down. And I sat on my rotary cutter. Let's see. So, we got our ribbon, our bow, our cute little ruffles. Now the first thing I'm trying to figure out is how I want to attach the ruffles. I know the ruffles are only going to be going on the bottom of the skirt. So I think the first thing we're going to be able to actually physically stitch together is going to be the bodice. So we're going to do this part first. Let's see, I need to get my presser foot back from wherever it went. I see it. There it is. All set to go. Right here. That looks good. Wait for a boot up sequence. And then I'm going to remove my pins. This part is going to be set aside since I definitely don't want to stitch that to anything. I'm also going to grab my duct tape to try and get a couple more of these little spare fibers that have shown up on the black. Alright, there's one side, all finished. There we go. We are all set. Then move that up. Butterfly this open. And we do our lineup. Now I'm going to be lining up the bottoms first just because I have my little registration marks down here which make it much simpler to do my lineup. Then I'm going to pin right where my little notches are, as that's going to be the easiest way to keep everything completely straight. There. And then that is looking really good. Now, since this is going to be a pretty easy stitch around, I'm going to put needles in the major points, which are pretty much the curves, the center of the bodice, and one on each side. Oh, ran out of needles. There we go. Alright, now stitching time. Now I do have plain white thread in here. Since this is going to be the inside, I don't have to worry about it showing. And I'm also going to be stitching at a 5/8 seam allowance. I'll also have to be doing a lot of corner notching once I finally get ready to flip this part inside out. And of course, chugging along at a moderate pace. There's that. Also, before I forget about it completely, happy International Women's Day to all of my ladies out there. And I hope your days are going wonderfully. You deserve all the best things in life. Later on, I will be posting a couple of photos just for International Women's Day. There we go. Alrighty. The bodice is now stitched together. And then I need to do some clipping all around the edges. Now, normally for a old-time garment, I'd actually be going through and following the proper time period designing, like the special seam styles they'd use. However, being as I'm also wanting this to have a bit more modern of a flair, I'm not really going to worry about that. I just really enjoy the style and the patterns that they had back then. Because the aprons from the 1950s and 60s looked so much cuter than the aprons we have today. They just knew how to work everything. This part does take a while, because if you don't clip your curves, you can actually have them turn out rather warped, which never leaves a good style. You want everything to be nice and crisp and clean. So once I have this all clipped, I'll be flipping it inside out I should probably turn the iron back on so we can get that running. And then I will be pressing all of my edges. Then I'm also thinking I'm probably going to do an edging seam all around this. I'm thinking I'll probably break out my yellow thread for that, just to give it a cute little border. Otherwise, I could possibly do a blue shade, just to give it a little bit extra depth on here. I'll probably make a poll later on, just ask you guys what you think. And then we'll go from there. Wonderful. Alright, we are all clipped. Ha ha ha. And inside we go. Now, I'm already thinking this looks really cute. But of course, that's just me. Plus, for a pattern we drafted ourselves, I think it looks nice. Plus, our inspiration was some beautiful inspiration. There we go. Ha ha ha. Now, onto the skirt. Now, the skirt is going to be a little bit more difficult, mainly because of the fact I have to add in the ruffles. So we'll likely be sitting here for a little while, ruffling up our tulle. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do it the full length, or if I should probably fold it in half and only about have a little bit sticking out. I'm leaning towards the folding it in half, just because I think that's going to add a lot more depth to the little ruffles on the edges. But first, let's get this off of our pattern and get these pinned together so we can get everything attached. And then hello newcomer to our live. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Ugh, there we go. I'm also thinking if these go out really well. Hi Dad, how are you? How was your little weekend with Mom? There we go. Alright. Now pattern separation. I do have to remember later on to serge my pattern pieces. That way there's no chance of those getting wrecked while they're just sitting around doing nothing. Ooh, where'd you go for dinner? I'm assuming White Stag, just because that's a traditional place for the family. Alrighty. Oop. That is not a good thing. I forgot to make a clip right here. That's alright. It hasn't moved, so I'm still okay. Got it. Don't forget to clip your pieces. Our notch marks are important. I kind of figured. They are delicious though. We want to come back up and have them again, but you know, gotta wait. Oof. Alrighty. So right here, I'm probably just going to do the corner areas. And then I'm going to start ruffling the white into the hem. Because that is going to take us a little while. And we only got about 20 minutes left together. Got it. There's a notch. we're trying to figure out when to come up next. That's just the hardest part about everything. Alright, move our pins aside. And now we get to crack open the tool. I know you do, but I sadly work tomorrow. I'm only off on my Sundays and Mondays. Alrighty, tool. So with how sheer this is, in order to get any amount of definition, I'm probably going to have to do the double up like I thought I would. And that makes it a little bit easier to see. Short notice and gas. But hopefully the next one. And I think with how much I have being, these are 25 yards each, I could probably layer them together. Come on, break open. I swear I'm not struggling against paper and plastic. It's stronger than it looks. There we go. Alrighty, yeah, layering these together, it already has a little bit more definition. I'm afraid to set these on the floor, but I don't know where else. Oh. Work smarter, not harder. I can put them in the drawer just to keep them safe from the floor. Whew. So for these, I am probably going to layer and then start the ruffling. And with how much I have here, I can probably do some pretty major ruffles. Alright, yep, from this side, looks pretty darn good. Okay. Trying to find a way to make it easier on you guys to see how I'm doing this. Because there's going to be a lot of ruffling going on. I'll probably move you guys over my shoulder. We're going to do that, so hold on just a second. So one thing I do enjoy about this new tripod, it just clips to my table, so I don't really have to do much movement. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna ignore the black liner for now. And just go with the yellow, because then before I keep going on it, I can always stitch down the tool, stitch everything together, and then keep going. Oh, we're only under one layer. Where's the second layer? Here we are. So I'm probably going to be doing some pretty big ruffles like this. So I'm going to need tons and tons of pins. And I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards doing the box ruffles, so I'm going to have to remember to alternate each one of these. Oh, we are out of focus. That is one bad thing about doing it like this. I can't tell where this thing is facing. Let's see, so that one went that way. So if I'm remembering this right, this one goes this way. And then we have our box ruffles. Ha ha ha. So then once it's unruffled, it'll be roughly like this. I'm going to try and make these a little bit closer. That way it has a bit more of a seamless look and finish. And on to the next ruffle. So then this one will face the opposite way. Try and match these up as close as I can. Personally, I don't mind my boxes being a bit differently sized as I go. Ooh, looks like I'm actually needing to adjust these though. That one's getting a little bit high. Should we go longer? What do you guys think? Because it'll still look rather... Nah, definitely staying in half. Just gotta adjust these a little bit extra. So I'm going to have to keep a nice pinch on this little area over here. I'm going to use a pin down here to hold this steady. Alright, so folding up like that. And then we're going to flip back the other way. Also going to unroll a bit more tulle so I have some extra to keep working with. If you guys want, I might be able to continue this stream after I get back. I mean, you know, what's one night of a little less sleep gonna do? But then again, doing this for a few hours is probably gonna get boring. Even with talking. Because I do have cons coming up, but there's not much I can talk about those cons until the cons happen. Alright, then we're gonna fold this down this way. Nope, that's a little bit big. Roll that in. Alright, I like that. I'm gonna sneak this pin out from inside. And we're gonna use it. Ha ha ha. So when this is all stitched up and flattened down, it's gonna be roughly like that. I'm liking how this is looking. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Tulle is volatile. I love it as a fabric, but it always is such a struggle to keep sewing. You'd think after doing my rarity skirt, I'd be completely numb and used to this stuff, but nope. It always has ways of surprising me. There we go. Nice and folded. Gonna pin this up, that way I don't lose this fold. Then let's see, we went this way, so now we're gonna come back this way to finish our box. And I do have 25 yards of this, so if I really want to, I could probably double up. I doubt we're gonna get through 25 yards just doing this hem, but I also want to make a second one, so I might not. We'll see. Let's see, then we went that way, so next is this way. And we have another box completed. Ha ha ha. Then next up, that one looks pretty good. Then I'm gonna adjust my tool to make sure I stay on track and no parts get longer than the others. Got it. Alrighty. All set. Then pin it down. And now I can keep going. Let's see, this one came this way, so we're gonna go back that way. Right about there. Yep. I'm definitely thinking more and more about doing the poison apple pocket on the side, just because I think that's going to look really cute. I also could make a poison apple pie to go with this thing. I don't know, we'll see. I've got ideas for the photo shoot to go with it. But beyond that, not a lot of ideas yet. Plus this one being more simple, I kind of want to just keep my hands free. But part of me is like, we could totally make a pie purse and have the inside be hollow. And I'm heavily considering that. I think it's a very cute idea. Honestly, I'm just on a cute crunch idea lately. Feminine ideas are just popping all over. Let's see. I would have Disney music playing, but Disney's kind of a dick with their copyrights, and if you have it in a lot of videos, they might take them down. We'll see. We'll try it someday. We'll see if we get any strikes on our account. Because that's something I am hoping to avoid. Alright, let's see. We went that way, so now we're coming in this way. Yep, right there. Alright, we got about 5 minutes. We've done a decent amount of pleating. Definitely a lot to go still. But this is a project that will also take a bit of time on these fine details. If I do end up making a version that has a ton of cute little beading on it, that's gonna take me for frickin' ever. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love beading on bodices and everything, but the amount of time it takes is killer on your hands. Like, I know a girl who went absolutely nuts on her dress with sequins, and wow, the hours that took, insane. However, that also makes me think of the eventual ballerina tutu I want to make with the bodice, and the beading I plan to do on that is probably going to kill me, and I'll never want to do it again for 1,000 years. We'll see, though. I always say that, and then I end up doing it again. Whew. Ow, pins, needles, fingers. Am I the one who's not a fan of thimbles? I mean, I've used them in the past, but they're not very comfortable. Well, at least, in my opinion, they're not. You might think they're amazing. I don't really care for them, even though they do protect your fingers. I'm more of the grin and bear kind of person, even though I do say ow a lot. Oof. Another scallop almost finished. Woo! We're looking cute! There we are. This way. There. Nice and thick. Gonna take this pin. There we are. Alright, well, it is time. I've got to get going. So, oof. Alrighty, before I leave you guys for the night, I guess, whoopsie, pins, don't fail me now. Here is some of our progress for the day. Personally, I'm thinking this is looking really cute. It's gonna look adorable when it's finished. The bodice is also very nice. I can't wait to show this off to you guys, honestly. It's gonna be so perfect. Woo! Then, I know I said it once already, but I love these guys. Big, big thank you to our patrons. of Jay Pow, who's been with us since the beginning, Jake Nitzel, who has been with us since pretty close to the beginning, and our newest little deer of Stardust, Christina. It is amazing to have you guys with me through all of these adventures, and I can't wait for us to have many more. Well, I'm off to bed. I'll see you guys again later on. Good night, and I hope all your cosplay dreams come true.